Welcome to LearnSigns.com, lesson number 13. My office in the basement of the house is being worked on right now, so I've decided to do the video from outside the house, and it's not too cold yet. And also I'm going to be talking about nature, natural things in this video. Nature or natural, this is also the sign for normal. And you take the N, or it's a modified N, it's the letter U, and you just give it a little wiggle, and this is more to say, hey, I'm about to do something here, and then you drop it down. Sometimes you'll see it from underneath or above it, but just a little movement to show that this hand's about to do something. Nature. Tree. You have your horizon, and then your tree is on the horizon, and it wiggles. You can do several trees. Give it a movement there. Trees. Flower. It's all your fingertips are together. You're going to touch one side of your nose and then go to the other side. Flower. Sun. You draw a circle and then you show the sunshine shining down. Sun. Moon can be done a couple of different ways, and the way I like to do it is with the what I call the little C. It's the C made with just the thumb and the index finger. And you put it right here by your eye. That's moon. Sometimes you'll see it done with the big C, but then some people use this to mean sun. So the biggest separation for distinction purposes is do sun like this, and then moon with just the index finger and the thumb. Moon. Sun, moon. Stars. Star. It's your G's, and you're going to bump them together as you rub up. Star. Earth or world. This is earth. You take your thumb and your sensitive finger, and you're going to kind of pinch your wrist, and you give it a little wiggle. Earth. Now, world is with the W's, and you do just like you do year, except you do it with the W's. World. Earth and world. Dirt. Take like you would do the word money. This is not the real sign for money, but this is what we call a natural sign, the way people do it. Money. Now you do it with both hands, with your palms up. Dirt. Now you can do that and then spread it out onto the ground, and that would be land or a piece of property. Land. So dirt, earth meaning dirt, soil, and then you can spread it out, and that would mean land or property. Rain. Rain comes down, and it comes down kind of in sheets. Snow is a little different. It's softer. You can do, the rain was hard. It was windy and rainy. And then snow, you take and you touch your shoulders, and then you flick it off and drift it down. You can make it pretty. And the way I think of it is you're brushing off the dandruff, and it flakes down. Snow. Rainbow. This is a sign for color. You take your 5 and you wiggle it right there by your lips, and then you do the bow. Color, and then the rainbow. Now you can just do this rainbow, and it's like with your 5 or your 4. You can do this, and that's sufficient if in context it's understood. But if you do the whole thing, color and then rainbow, then it's very clear as to what you mean. Animal. Take your B hands or your mitten hands, and you put them right here on your shoulders, and you wiggle in and out. And it's like the lungs are expanding and contracting. Animal. And that's just the generic sign for animal. There's lots of animal signs, and I'll do a video about just animal signs later, but this is animal in general. All right, so let's go through those again. Nature, natural, normal, then tree, flower, sun, moon, star, earth, world, dirt. This is also land or property, or if you do it out like that. So dirt or earth meaning soil, and then land or property. Rain, rain, rain. Snow. Rainbow. Animal. All right, and I have a project for you. The word grass, which is a nature sign, the word grass is a sign that changes around the United States. The different regions have different signs for it. And so your assignment is to find out how grass is used in your area, what the sign for it is. Many places they just spell it. But I want you to see if you can find a sign for the word grass, and then in the comments of Lesson 13, LearnScience.com/13, if you will write out the description of grass using the information you learned from Lesson 11, which gives you the 5 different elements of how to write out a sign, use that information and write for us how grass is done in your area. And then we can see the different ways grass is done. Tell us where you're from, and then the way you do grass in your area, or the way the deaf do grass in your area. Thank you for watching. This is LearnScience.com, Lesson 13. So LearnScience.com/13.